I'm extremely proud to be from Aberdeen, yes, and it's lovely. I've been down in England for a long time, but when I come back to Aberdeen, I'm coming home. Well, of course, there was a few in the Aberdeen team when you could afford it. We didn't have any money in those days, so it was very rare that you went to some of the games. So obviously, Harry Yorston was definitely a top player for Aberdeen in those days. A lot of the other guys, of course, as well. So, no, it was just nice to see them. Funny enough, I went to the game last season when they played Man United. I was invited over, and of course, they beat United, so I had to be very careful what to say or whatever. But I was absolutely delighted that they come back. At the moment, they're not having a particularly good time, and it's very difficult when you against teams like United or Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, Spurs. It's not easy. So, but it's nice to see them back because they were one of the first teams ever, and I didn't know it at this time when I joined Huddersfield, to win the league 3 tiers on the bounce. There's only a couple of teams ever done that. So, well, it did add it. I mean, in Italy it was very defensive. They played like 9 back up front. So, for an attacking player, it wasn't good. But I did learn a lot in the fact that when I come back to England, in Manchester, when I was playing there, I didn't think anybody was marking me because in Italy you were marked by 2 guys. The strikers were marked by 2 guys, so you could hardly get in the game.
Yeah.
Back at home, I thought,
this is easy.
Nobody's marking me here. So yeah, so I did learn. Unknown to myself, I learned a lot. Don't forget, I was single at the time. Nice ladies, nice food. I liked the wine, the beer was good. The only thing I didn't like was the football.
Exactly.
And that's what I went for. Absolutely top man, of course, surviving the Munich air disaster where they lost half of the team. Scottish guy as well, of course, from Glasgow. So it was really so good for me to come back from Italy and join Manchester United when they were beginning to come back, to build up the team. They lost half of the team in the 58, which was 4 years before I came back to Manchester. So it was lovely. And then when you think, in 1968, there he was picking up the European Cup, which was the cause of disaster 10 years before. So it was lovely to come back. Well, injuries. I played in the semi-final against Real Madrid, but unfortunately, and I was the captain of the team in those days as well. So it was, but we should have won it again the following year when we got to the semi-final against Milan. Dodgy referee, obviously a very dodgy referee, and we could beat in the semi-final. The following year, we should have got them because we were quite a good team, and we did well to get that far. But yeah, we should have been in the final again. To be fair, you can't really think of having a statue outside the ground. It's just it's very difficult to explain that to what it is. But we were 2 of the best players that Manchester United ever had, Bobby Charlton and George Best. But to have a statue like that, I don't know if you are knowledgeable about that. But when you play with players like that, it's easy. The game is easy. It's when you play with players who are not as good or whatever, it's difficult. So when you got to, don't forget, the game of football is a team. It's not just, they tend to give more coverage to guys who score goals, but without the guys in midfield or the defenders, the goalkeeper, you wouldn't be doing anything. So although you do get a lot of coverage, you can't do without the rest of the guys. So everybody plays. The game of football is a team game. You need a goalkeeper, you need a defender. It made it easy.
Yeah.
They knew where to put the ball. I knew where they were going. George knew what he was doing. After the game, he didn't know what he was doing, but that's different. This was your ambition as a football player, was to represent your country. So there was nothing, I don't care who you play for, what you play for, there's not a better than playing for your country. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I am really very happy with what I've achieved anyway, but the fact that this one is helping the youngsters and whatnot for hopefully some young players to come through and play for Scotland. So the guys who are involved in this have done a fantastic job for people, for mums and dads, their children to go and play. They don't have to pay any money. This is absolutely fantastic. All started, of course, with Johan Cruyff back in Holland. So in years to come, this will get better and better and better, and hopefully we'll get some real Scottish players playing for the country.